Hey George Elliott, my name's Jonathan. I've been involved in a sport called flowboarding for almost 5 years now. Recently, I just came back from the World Championships in Cancun and am now ranked 3rd in the world for professional bodyboarding. But now I've heard word that the city of Kelowna is looking into new uses for the space that the flow rider currently occupies. So I started a petition to try and save the wave at the HCO Center. Head over to bit.ly/savethewave to sign the petition and seriously help us out.
Good morning, George Elliott. I'm Kendra.
And I'm Jace, and I'm so amped that there's only a few more hours till winter break.
I know, right? So let's get right into it so we can end the day sooner.
Let's. First up, we have an announcement from our yearbook team.
Hey George Elliott! I'm Taylor.
I'm Jessie.
And I'm Ryan. And we're here to tell you about the Put Me In hashtag. This year is the graduating class of 2018, so therefore we're using the hashtag Put Me In 2018. Send us your photos or DM the yearbook page at George Elliott Yearbook. Just send her. Hey, you want to send in any of your group photos? I don't know.
Send in those great photos of you and your best friend, those
Awkward group selfies?
and moments that you will cherish for the rest of your high school life.
Thanks George Elliott and stay rad.
Hashtag Put Me In 2018, done.
Solid. I look forward to seeing that in the yearbook. Totally unrelated, Kendra. Have you ever seen a $15,000 gingerbread house?
$15,000 gingerbread house? What?
Well, our crew came across one the other day. Let's check it out.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Worth it! That's what we're doing today! We're going to 3 different restaurants at 3 drastically different price points to see which gingerbread is the most worth it at its price point. So our first location's this pretty cool place called Sugar Shack. Apparently they make really cheap gingerbread houses there, so we're gonna see what that's all about.
Cool. All right, George Elliott. Now we're here at Little Sugar Shack with Miss Johnson. And the first question I want to ask you is, what inspired you to open this store and start making these gingerbread houses?
Well, I have to be honest, it's all for the kids. I just believe that everybody deserves to have access to a gingerbread house at Christmas time. And the reality is, some of these gingerbread houses that are being made these days are just too large to be eaten. This is a child-size gingerbread house for the children. So I just want everybody to be able to have access to gingerbread at this time of year. So that's my inspiration.
How do you keep the quality up and the prices down?
That's a really good question. We try to use local ingredients for our gingerbread houses. So we have a lot of people that volunteer to help us assemble them, and they work for gingerbread houses that they get to take home as well. So it's kind of like a service where people will volunteer and also get gingerbread houses.
Whoa. Oh, look at this. What boggles my mind is that $3 gets you an entire gingerbread house.
These are premium marshmallows right here.
I can't even.
Just like,
They're so good.
this is fantastic.
This is the best gingerbread I've ever eaten. Ever. I had absolutely no idea that you can get an entire gingerbread house for $3. That's ridiculous.
I didn't know.
What?
I didn't know that the National Gingerbread Day is on June 5th.
Why June 5th?
I have no idea.
Who eats gingerbread in June?
But we're about to eat more gingerbread at our next restaurant, which is...
this next restaurant, I believe they do ugly sweaters out of gingerbread. So that'll be interesting to see what they do there.
Well, let's go see.
Let's pull in here. Boom. We're here at Grandma's Kitchen with Ms. Hammond. What can you tell us about the process that goes into making these?
Well, first of all, we don't have a storefront because we're very environmentally friendly, so you can only order online. I made it right here in my kitchen. and we give you a certain location that's by bus only, so you have to commute by transit in order to get these cookies.
I'm just wondering about the inspiration behind the designs. Like, what's going on through, what's going through your head when you're making these, like?
Well, you want to embody your inner grandmother, first of all, because they make lovely sweaters like this, and we want to put those onto the cookies, because they're very trendy these days, and we want to keep up with the times. We also like to keep up with memes and the internet. I spend a lot of time at home with my 8 kids, and so I only have the internet to really access the public. So memes like this, and we try to get our inspiration from there.
And now? Alright, Grandma's Kitsch. Let's see how hip you actually are. This is actually some good designs. Like, I gotta say,
I'm going in.
seriously, these are great designs.
Very crunchy, as a grandma would be. Kind of reminds me of like when you eat cardboard, in a good way.
These are
The ginger flavor really comes out.
in these sugar cookies. Like, some ginger mix in these sugar cookies. You wanna try some? Yeah.
It's like crumbling in a good way.
You know, there's a lot of irony in the name to her restaurant versus, you know, what she puts on those cookies, right? Because she does like memes on the cookies, but then she calls herself Grandma's Kitsch, you know? So it's like, grandmas don't keep up with that kind of meme culture. I just find that
No,
really
she's the hip
interesting.
grandma.
She's the hip grandma, that's right.
Gingerbread facts! Unmarried women in England have been known to eat gingerbread husbands for luck in meeting the real thing.
Alright, so this third option is a little bit weird, right? I hear that they make gingerbread villages, but like deconstructed. So I'll be interested to see what that's all about.
It's kind of like eating things out of mason jars. It's like a little bit pointless, but it's all art.
That's so... We're here at Modern Maison with Miss Manchester. So what can you tell us about the gingerbread that you make here?
Well, this gingerbread was handcrafted in 1793 in a small town in France. And we've taken this exact recipe and replicated it for our restaurant. What we try to do at our restaurant is we try to take something like, you know, a gingerbread house that looks perfect, and we try to take that and deconstruct it and make it different in different ways. So my gingerbread house that I constructed has the Leaning Tower of Pisa on it that is kind of slightly falling over, and most people would think that's not what you would expect with a gingerbread house, but this is what makes it unique. It also has money on it that is, we handcraft that, it's gold that we make in our own restaurant.
Oh, look at
This,
whatever that is.
you know,
Nope,
there's a lot you can say about art.
There's a lot you can say about gingerbread.
Yep. The golden money is just a little far, but you know, you gotta get what you pay for. You like it?
Yeah.
You know, the quality of this gingerbread really outpaces the others.
Look at this. One piece.
That is top German engineering right there.
Okay.
Like, this is good gingerbread. Like, I'm not even kidding. This is not acting. Chef Ramsay would make this himself.
I don't even think Chef Ramsay could make it.
No? I think the chef should be an architect.
It's like Lego, you can just like rebuild it.
I think you should be an architect.
It's like Lego. Ta-da!
I think, my personal opinion, the Sugar Shack, because at only $3, you got a lot of bang for your buck, and the deconstructed, like, gingerbread whatever of dollar bill, I mean, the gold just may be a bit too much. I mean, just like $13,000 or whatever, it's just a little too much.
You know, I knew you would say that. I just knew it. You know, my worth it winner is not that. It's a little bit more pricey. I went for the second option. I went for Grandma's Kitsch, just because, you know, the effort that goes into making something like that, you know, the meme culture, the amount of work that she puts into researching all of the stuff on Reddit and stuff like that. It's just, you know, no grandma does that, but she did, And I think that deserves my worth it.
And I think Sugar Shack's one, because you get a lot in a little bundle, and that's awesome.
Sugar Shack it is.
That was so excellent. Those gingerbread houses looked awesome. Which one was the most worth it for you?
Oh, the 15,000 for sure. Go big or go home.
I totally get that. It's kind of hard to come by $3.50.
Well, Kendra, this is the last real segment in 2017. Want to introduce it?
Definitely. A few years ago, Miss Monteith introduced an Elliott-themed holiday classic poem, and Santa looks a bit different throughout all of them.
Let's see what this year's Santa looks like.
'Twas the week before the non-denominational winter holiday when all through the school the foolproof heat system was set, but the halls remained cool. The stockings were hung in the staff room with care in hopes June 29th soon would be there. The students were nestled all snug in their desks while visions of Xbox danced in their heads. Mrs. Plummer a whirl of needles and thread while McWhirter and Nickel lived online instead. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my room to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, and opened my power blinds with ease and panache. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When to my wondering eyes should I see but Mr. Mackenzie porting yummy coffee and tea. With his good friend Mr. Penner he carried hot beverage, caffeine-seeking colleagues working their leverage. More rapid than eagles his school friends they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Hoover, McDell, now Gilbert and Burgett, on Yukich, Tambasco, Maddox and Stefanik. To the top of the stairs, to the end of the hall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As teachers that before the Monday morning meeting run, their worry assuaged with a cinnamon bun. Thanks, Mr. Fletcher. Mr. Mackenzie gave out some coffee and tea, and finally those teachers started to flee. Many dismissed their classes quite early. Freilich, Frechette, Marat chose 1:30. With it so close to the holiday break, surely admin would allow this escape. And then came the sound of lightly veiled anger, the calm, unimpressed Mrs. Winiger. As she drew near and was turning around, out of the building the transgressors did bound. She was dressed in coyote gear from her head to her foot, and her glasses were foggy, her testimony kaput. Here our leader she turned with a jolt, and made for her office just like Usain Bolt. Mr. Bischoff, his eyes, how they smoldered, his forehead was creased, his cheeks were like lava, his gaze like a beast. He wanted the superintendent, and not just for show, so the pad of his smartphone was brightly aglow. The number 2 pencil held in her teeth. Oh, Mrs. Comat knew there'd need to be peace. She and her cadre of office staff fled, 'cause explosions like this were something to dread. Miss Rulova ran in and wanted to help, and laughed when she saw them in spite of herself. The twitch of her eyes and the veins in their necks soon let her know of an inevitable wreck. She spoke not a word, but went straight to work, and filled out report sheets, then turned with a jerk. Then laying those papers in Miss Winiger's blue bin, she recalled the events, and this time she grinned. Mr. Bischoff sprang to the gym. To his staff he gave a smile, till he recalled Mr. Cardall, who he'd reached on speed dial. But I heard the admin team all exclaim, with a great deal of might, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Well, I don't know about you, but I think that's the best way to head into the holidays.
You're right. Wait! We forgot one more thing.
You ever think I would forget about that?
Question of the week!
Hey, George Eliot. This week's question of the week is, who wrote the original Christmas Carol?
That question again is, who wrote the original Christmas Carol? A story about Scrooge.
If you think you know the answer, text your full name and what you think the answer is to 250-215-9064.
I think that really is it now.
I think you're right this time, Jace.
Well, have a great break, George Eliot.
And we'll see you in the new year.
Ah,